Hi, I'm Tom. I work in the engineering department at Guthrie Douglas. Today we're going to go through the installation of a gravity drop zip blind and the CTS blind. So for this installation we just use standard tools and screwdrivers. We've already installed the head box and made sure it is level.
Once you've installed the head box, check the fabric is central on the roller. If this needs adjusting, run the fabric down until you can see where it attaches to the barrel. Shift over as necessary, then roll the fabric back up into position. You may also want to apply shims to counter any fabric tracking as you would for a normal roller blind.
So the next step is to install the side channels, and James is going to help me to fit those now. Here we're using flange side channels so we can face fix them into the frame. We also offer the side fix channels which can be fitted into the wall. To fit the side channels, we slide them up into the head box and fit a screw in from the side to secure them. They can be installed prior attached to the head box, so we can lift the head box up to fit the system. So the key point at this stage is to make sure the guides are parallel, so there is an even distance at every point along the guides. So next we're going to fit the inner rail inside the side channel, which the zip will then run inside. We'll use the motor to slide the zip into the inner rail. We will now repeat this process on the other side. Once we've installed the inner rails, we will now fit the E-section to hold the inner rail in. The E-section is fitted at both the rear and the front of the system. It is then repeated on the other guide. The last step is to fit the front cover and set the motor limits. So the system is available with different options. So we have different coloured E-section, different powder coat. We also offer a bottom channel and various different hem bar sizes. So for the installation of the CTS system, we need to fit the CTS constant tension spring box. So once we've installed the constant tension spring box, the next stage is to install the inner rails. We do this from sliding it in from the side and using the motor to get the zip to fall into the inner rails. So now we're going to install the E-section. The E-section is fitted at the front and the back of the guides on both sides. So the next stage is to connect the constant tension spring cord to the bottom of the hem bar. We do this by pulling on the tension cord, take it to the top, and we now lock off the tension on the spring. So James is now going to loop the cord around the hook on the handbar, and then we're going to take the tension off the spring. So this process is done for blinds when they're in horizontal orientation or shape lifting or lifting blinds. It is now repeated on the other side. So you engage this tension box. At this point, we will now run the system and check everything is okay before we then go on to set the limits and fit the cover. Once the motor limits have been set, we can now finish by fitting the cover, which is done by fitting the 2 screws. So on the downloads page on our website, you can access installation drawings and installation instructions. If you need any further information, feel free to contact the engineering team. If you'd like to know more about the systems and get hands-on building the systems, you can come down to our training centre based in Warwick.